Sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared of you. But all I really want is to hold you tight. So today is a day where nothing much is really planned, but I do have this man with me, a monkey. So yes, I'm taking him for a walk. It's good for him and it's good for me, apparently. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about exercise anyway. I've been told that exercise is a really good thing, by doctors, by friends, by all sorts of people. There's meant to help in my mental health, and yeah, considering that I'm on an NHS waiting list for over 3 months now to see a therapist, I've got to try and take it into my own hands in some ways. So so I'm gonna take this exercise and I'll keep going, though I'm aching like madness after my cycle from Pembrey last blog. But anyway, gonna see how this goes now. Pumping up the speed a little bit because I've got to get the heart racing. And there's the old film crew, brought them with me, keeping it natural. There's Jeffrey, Katie with the blonde hair, and Michael in a white t-shirt. Oh, where would I be without them? Michael! It feels better as you go along, though I've been aching. Actually, when doing the exercise, it does feel a bit better. I'll give you all credit on that one. But yeah, I think to talk a bit more about this NHS stuff, it's just a bit crazy. So, as you could see and hear there, the wind started picking up, and unfortunately you couldn't really hear anything I was saying. So I decided I'm gonna have to just summarise what I said here instead. So what I was going to talk about was the NHS and the benefit system, and just how much support I've had, and how I think some things could be improved as well. So let's get straight into it. The good things with the NHS was the GP that I was seeing was really, really helpful. She was like willing to listen to what I was saying and like increase medications or change medications if necessary, and add some anti-anxiety medication as well, just to help me with the anxiety. And then also willing to refer me to the teams, and although there's been a bit of a wait, which is something I'll talk about a bit later. Also, and at the A&E there is a crisis team, which is a team of therapists that are there to help anyone who's like literally about to commit suicide, and has been admitted to A&E. So my friend took me there when I had a really bad time in late February, and they were really, really good with me for a week after my incident. So that was really good, and they were there if things intensified to that level again. And I also then went on a stress at work course, and it was really cool. the challenge for me was that I think the stage of recovery I was at when the course was running, I was quite panicky, and I was suffering a lot with anxiety, so I was pretty much too stressed to go on the stress at work course. But I did power through, and there are some helpful techniques and resources that I got from that, which will no doubt help me when I get back into work as well. So let's move on to the kind of more needing improvement category. So in terms of the NHS, I'd say that the waiting times have been crazy, like ridiculous. I'm someone who's sick, and I'm suffering, and I felt because I've not been at the level of like literally about to kill myself, it means that I'm just so far down a queue. And if I'm that far down a queue, there like this waiting list, then surely that means that mental health needs to be looked at more seriously. That there's lots of people that are needing the support and aren't getting it quickly enough, if you ask me. So that's been a real challenge. I finally saw a psychiatrist who was like part of a team that come together and decide how best to work my case. So that I saw them after 3 months. Yet to hear what the team have decided is best for me moving forward. But that's something that's at least in action, and then still waiting for the therapy. So yeah, those waiting times are a bit tough. And then I'd say in terms of benefits, it's good that I'm getting something in, but it's not really enough, to be honest. The biggest note of point for me is the baby tax benefit. I can't remember if it was called child tax benefit, but that's like I'm at the lower end of that because I earned so much. I was in London last year that it meant that I'm not entitled to a higher amount, which seems just a bit bizarre because obviously I was trying to make ends meet, and London's a higher cost of living, but they don't take any of that into account, and it's meant that I've been punished for being a good boy and bringing lots of tax money into the system. It's bizarre. And the other bizarre thing, if I can think of it at the top of my head now, I just find it all a bit strange that that I have been seen as someone who could care for my son. So there's been no benefits in terms of like they basically they think that because I'm not like got a broken neck or something that means I can take care of my baby. But I haven't been able to. Like having taking care of a baby is such a stressful thing, and especially when they're crying and they're really loud, and you can't, if you haven't got a handle on your own emotions, how are you meant to handle a little baby's emotions as well on top? So for some reason there's no support there, based on me not being able to be capable of taking care of my baby. So anyway, let's just leave it at that for now. It's getting a bit in depth, and it's getting to a point where I can't describe it very well either. But that's kind of my experience of the system and the support that's been in place. And thankfully, I've had family support, and I've had support from my best friends, and I've had support from the church. There's been like a real kindness about the people surrounding me, and I feel extremely grateful for that. So hopefully things will change with these systems, but I know it's all down to dollar money, and I don't know what can you do. I'd start a picket line. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, so I leave you on a bit of a downer. I'm going to see you next time. And until then, I hope you keep yourself well. One kiss is all it takes, falling in love with me. Possibilities, oh, they